Good day, it's Maile Matsiba. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be continuing with our section 1 of the 2017 study guide of Chemical Engineering 113 module of the University of Pretoria. So we're going to be looking at example 1.2. The question says, what is the weight of a mass of 15 pounds? Now looking at a question, the first thing that should come to mind is what is weight and how do we calculate it? And it's something that's known, or it's something that's always it's obvious or it's given that F is equals to mg. It's important to understand or to remember that weight is actually a force. So this is actually the equation of calculating the weight. Now the second thing in the equation is the mass. Now when you look at the mass, you notice that it's given as 15 pounds. Now this shouldn't really be a problem. Now when you go to the third, it's our gravitational constant. Now our gravitational constant can actually be expressed sometimes in SI or sometimes in the American system of units. So when you look at this, to know whether you're going to be using the SI G or the American system of units G, you can actually use the mass given here as a hint. It's been given as the American system of units as 15 pounds. So now, just to remind you that in SI units, G equals to 10 meters per second squared, and in the American system, G equals to 32.17 feet per second squared. Now in this case, in the case of the question that has been given, we're going to be using the American system of units G because our mass has been given as 15 pounds. So it shouldn't be a problem. Sometimes, to make it a little bit tricky, the examiner might actually ask you that calculate the weight in SI units. So in that case, we would have to convert first our 15 pounds into kilograms, and then from kilograms, then we can come back and use the SI units G and use it in the equation. But in this case, nothing has been said, so our assumption is that we're going to assume that we're rather going to make sure that we're going to just make sure that we calculate the final answer in the American system of units using our mass as a hint. So now let's continue to calculate it. So our mass is 15 pounds. Now our G, or our gravitational constant, like I said, we're going to be using our American system of units G, is going to be 32.17 feet per second squared. Now our final answer, when you use a calculator, it becomes 482.6 pound mass feet per second squared. So this is our final answer. It's also important that I highlight that the final answer, it's important to understand that the final answer, the unit of the final answer, is actually a combination of the units in the equation, our pound, which is the pound mass, and then the feet second squared. So yeah, that is our final answer, and thank you for this time, and I hope to meet you again in our next video.